Yes? Maharal, Lametes, second column, second paragraph. V'chein ha'ava sheyesh min Hashem Yisborach el Yisrael. The love that Hashem has to Klal Yisrael. K'mash kosov ha'kosov. K'mam ha'kosov. Ahavti eschem. Malachi says, Hashem says, I love you. He loves Klal Yisrael. V'tigna razal. Oiv amo Yisrael. Right? Birchas Kriyishma, right? Oiv amo Yisrael. Hashem loves his people, Yisrael. Afki avohu bein hashovim. Although we said earlier that if people have a commonality and a similar one, they love one another. We said that we love God because we recognize God sustains us. Every aspect of our being is Him, right? Like somebody who's in need of something. A person's hot. You want to be cool. Anything which is mashal you or sustains you or causes you to be, you love that. Because that's the basis for your being. But how does Hashem love us? What's the basis for the commonality? Because the whole concept of Hashlam by Hashem has no relevance. What you complete God, and there's no commonality. So what's the basis? Why should God love us? He says, Ki Yisrael nikro bonim lamokom. Klal Yisrael will categorize as bonim, with Hashem's children. You do a ki av oivis beno they shaben bo mimenu, because the child emanates from the father, so the child is seen as an extension of the father. It's good. Bar mitzvah. Hear this. The davar sheba menu mitzura fe'elav biyoser, and something which emanates from is attached. Is an attachment. V'Yisrael heim min Hashem Yisborach nivroim. Ki avgav shkol nivrom heim min Hashem Yisborach. But every human being, every creature, right? The animal, the insect, everything is from Hashem. But in terms of the way, the connection we have, we're at a different level of connection. You hear this? They're secondary. They're not essential. The world doesn't exist for them. 1 second. It's just as all other creatures, creation was created for the Adam, and they were not created for their own. Hear this? As the world exists to facilitate the human being, the Umas Olam were created to facilitate the Jews' needs. So we speak about what is creation. Creation is called Yisrael. They're considered his essential primary handiwork. And there's this total attachment. Even to a greater degree. I mean, the way a person loves his child is different than two friends love one another. You know, what a person does for his child. Another person, he says, I'm doing my best. The child has the same problem. He could do better. Why does he do better? Because he does for his child. He's doing for himself. When you do for the other person, you are doing your best. Ki gam avazo shu el dover shebo mimenu hu korov lios kimo dover echod. Umizeh hatzat shaykh avo. Veitzel bosa v'dom ha'ov oi v'saben. Yeah. A father loves a child. So if the father, why doesn't the child love the father? Good question, right? The answer is because the child is from the father is not from the child. Veitzel bosa ha'ov oi v'ben veina avas haben el av kol kach. Zeki haben yotzi mimenu v'u bosa b'bsoro. Maybe his flesh shaykh bosa avo. But the other way, the other direction, the father is not from the son. I mean, there is, because you understand there's a holdingness, whatever it is, but in terms of to see as one. The father loves a child because the child is an extension of the father. But the father is not an extension of the son. What? So therefore, he could love, but not. One is natural. Much is natural. The other one is not natural.
That was the perfect creation at that point. And after the Chetch, that got lost, and then he picked the name.
There's no question if a goy has tzelem elokim. Tzelem elokim has nothing to do with Adam. A human being still could.
Before the Chet, before the Rishon.
Everybody,
Right?
every human being.
Every human
No, but even his children had tzelem elokim. There's a question: after Adam sinned, did he lose tzelem elokim? That's a question. Maybe go even today at tzelem elokim, but tzelem elokim is not bonim. It's a whole different idea. My mashgiach, interesting story. You know, after the war, the United States government, they brought over lifts of svarim from Europe. And the one who received the vast majority of the svarim, they were antiques. They went back to the first printings of many svarim. The main one who got most of the svarim was JTS. They had an extensive library, but it was all built on the svarim that the United States government. Because JTS had the greatest representation of so-called, they represent the Jewish people, the conservative movement. There was a fire in the 80s in JTS. Most of the library was burnt. There was a famous fire, lost a fortune. Okay, but other yeshivas also received. Nei Yisrael received, Lakewood received Tells, and when we learned yeshiva in the 60s, most of the svarim were from Europe. They were not printed in America. Many of them were brittle. The paper, you had to all over. The pages broke. I mean, the paper was brittle. So, my mashgiach, he learned the Mir in Europe. And so when they left everything behind. They took a few svarim, but left the majority. So he had a sefer from Rav Chaim Vital. And he left it in Europe. He left. It's called Shari Ora, from the Rav Chaim Vital. Rav Chaim Vital was the one who recorded all the writings. Kisei Arizal was the Rav Chaim Vital. So they had a lift that was sent to Baltimore by the government. So Rashi Zechariah Baruch says to the mashgiach, he says, you need some svarim. Why don't you go see what you need, and you'll take the sefer. So he goes and looks around, and he wanted a Shari Ora. It wasn't reprinted. They didn't print it. In those days, they didn't print that kind of sefer in America. And he needed it. So he sees it, takes it out, opens up the cover, David Krongless. It was his sefer from Europe. That's a famous story. So I once looked in his sefer, and I open up, Rav Chaim Vital writes, Yesh la'akum tzelem elokim, and my mashgiach has it underlined with a pen. Yeah, because to him, evidently, there must have been a chiddush. Because seemingly after the chet of Adam Rishon, after we were chosen to be the Aman Nivchor, the goyim and not tzelem elokim, Rav Chaim Vital says, and he had that line underlined. To be continued.
Yeah. So what does that mean?
It's fine.
So what does that mean then?
That Rizal was Ashkenazi. He was raised. His mother was Sephardi. His father was Ashkenazi. But he was orphan. He was raised by an uncle in Egypt who was Sephardi. His mother's family. Yeah.
Adam was created tzelem elokim.
Doesn't mean no. They don't. But that doesn't mean to say necessarily. Adam has tzelem elokim, but even if you're not Adam, you also have tzelem elokim, maybe.
Right?
So that's the discussion. You could say a person as nishkim mensch, okay, but he still has tzelem elokim. Okay.
Just read a story about this soldier who's in the Israeli army, the Yarmulke, right? He's the grandchild of German army officers, the children.
Nazis, well, they're converts.
Yeah, they came and they converted, going to Israel, and he's the second generation Israeli, but like,
These things, they really should keep a secret. You don't reveal these things. It's not something you pride yourself. The Gemara says that b'nei bonav shel lovim Torah b'nei brak. The Gemara says in Sanhedrin. Yeah. It says b'nei bon Shmai Vavtalion were the grandchildren of Sancheriv.
yeah.
So Hillel and Shammai's Rabbeim were grandchildren of Sancheriv. Morning.